sick boy, bitten by a tick boy.
With searing honesty, artist Ren shares what it's like to live with psychosis. There's a vulnerability to his music, an openness about mental health, which millions have connected with.
Essentially, your mind is making music.
Finding beauty in pain has become a necessity to survive. I've been struggling with health problems most of my life, and to alchemize my struggle, my physical symptoms, my psychological symptoms into something that feels more beautiful and more productive, I think then justifies everything that I'm going through, which I think is, for me, is vital.
What I'd like you to do is take some deep breaths with me. In and out.
Yeah, have you found it therapeutic or sort of cathartic in a way? Or has it been deeply confrontational to have to deal with this in your music?
I think it's a little bit of both, you know. Sometimes you have to dig up things that are quite ugly and quite difficult to process, which can be quite difficult. I mean, one of the most cathartic things about it is I'm creating something that is relatable for other people, because I think that what I'm going through and what I'm talking about isn't often touched on in mainstream music culture. And so to become a bit of a voice for the voiceless, I think, really helps me justify my own suffering, because otherwise it kind of feels sometimes for me like it's for nothing unless it's been given a purpose, you know? And I think we're always craving purpose as human beings.
And I've been making some progress lately, and I've learned some new coping skills. So I haven't really needed you much, man. I think we need to just step back and chill. Ren, you sound more insane than I do. You think that those doctors are really there to guide you? Been through this a million times, you're civilian.
Ren's album Sick Boy not only built up a cult following, but went to #1 in the charts, a moment the musician described as a victory over his health. The rapper's song Hi Ren has been watched over 20 million times on YouTube, a viral hit which grapples with the voices in his own head.
Now, in one of your music videos, like lots of your music videos, you're wearing a kind of hospital gown. The viewer is sort of starkly facing what you're going through in many ways. Why did you decide to do that?
I think that music and art is a bit of an empathy window. My world has sadly been like hospital gowns, and it has been lots of stays and hospital visits and stuff like that. So creating a more visceral experience where I'm drawing upon those things to bring into my work, to make a viewer understand so that they can relate to that world a little bit more, and then hopefully show a little bit more empathy towards people going through those sorts of things.
Do you think the government and politicians are investing in mental health services in the way they should?
I think that when you look at like rising levels of suicide rates in young men, I think that when you look at chronic health problems where the numbers are rising and not going down, and lots of things like this, I think that is a little bit of a red flag that we do need to allocate more resources to these things in these areas. But I still wouldn't badmouth a public system of health because of how many people's lives are saved by it. So I just think that we need to be more efficient with it.
This is the Britain I know. This is the Britain I love. There's poetry inside this city.
You started off being unsigned, and yet you've built up this incredible following of like tens of millions of people online. I wonder, how does that leave you feeling?
It's a hard thing to process, I think, in real time, but it's also massively affirming and gives me a lot of self-belief of being a bit more bold and daring in what I do as well.
Treading on the tracks in the night time, it never really felt like the right time.